All right. Well, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us tonight, whether you're live on the call or you're listening to the recording after. We're so excited just to have the chance tonight to share a little bit more about why we are glad that we chose to partner with Shaklee. Before we get started, I'd love to go ahead and open us up in prayer, and then we will keep going. God, I just thank you so much for all of the people who are listening to this call tonight or listening to the recording. We just pray that you would give us words to speak and just share candidly and authentically what it is that we love about what we do here at Shaklee. And I just pray that you would open hearts of those who are considering this, that you would help them to just have discernment of whether or not this is something that they want to add on to their plate. I pray that they would get all their questions answered and that you would just speak through us in a way that we can give a really clear picture of what's all included in this. In your name we pray, amen. Okay, so yeah, what we're gonna do is just gonna be pretty casual, but what we like to do is share kind of personal stories of, people that are actually doing this. I know that when I was considering Shackley, I wanted to know like, okay, but what about the people that are doing it? Like, do they really like it? What's their experience? Like, could I see myself doing something like this? So on the call, we're going to have several people from our team, and you'll get to know them, their various backgrounds and different, amounts of experience doing community marketing. So we're going to get to that towards the second half of the call. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen just to get started here and just give a brief overview for those of you who may not be as familiar with Shackley. I know I was not when I was kind of digging into this. I didn't exactly know what the company was all about. So I wanted to start there and just kind of give an overview, what the business opportunity looks like a little bit, and then we'll get into, like I said, those personal stories. If you have any questions along the way too, feel free to use the chat feature and pop them in there. And ladies, if I forget something, feel free to like add in and help me out with the details of all of this. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and dive in. So this little slideshow is just to kind of give you an overview. So I think the question that, all of us kind of asked ourselves when we were considering this is a wellness business right for you? So is it right for us? Is it something that we could find joy in? Is it something that we could find purpose in? So that's what we're going to try to answer tonight. I thought this was a fun fact. So did you know that 2/3 of Americans say they're living paycheck to paycheck? And more than half of those Americans say they've taken on extra opportunities to supplement their primary source of income. So it's interesting. And I think we're all feeling that right now. You know what I mean? Like the economy, the way that it has been the last, while, just that's just how life is. I remember when I was little, my mom would say, oh my gosh, things are way more expensive than they were when I was a little girl. And, we probably could say the same thing now as we get a little bit older. But when you have, people that you're responsible for and you have a lot on your plate, it can feel overwhelming sometimes. And I know for me, when I was considering community marketing, I was a stay-at-home mom and I wanted a way to contribute to my family without having to necessarily leave the house. And so for me and for many others, it started to just supplement what we were already doing. And then, as you'll see tonight, if you want, it can turn into more than just supplemental. But I would say for the most part, people that start this, that's kind of where they start is just thinking, you know what, I want to do something in addition to what I'm doing now. And then they can decide from there exactly how far they want to take that. But it's really common. I would say most people feel this right now is that they need some extras, they need some margin, when it comes to finances. Okay, this is interesting. So Gen Zers are most likely to take on a side gig, but millennials are close behind. So 71% of Gen Zers said, "Yep, I would take on a side gig." Millennials right behind. If you could pop in the chat, like what generation are you? It's super cool. We have all generations represented here at Shackley, which is so awesome. But would love to know where you fall in that. Okay, so then tonight, what we're really going to do is just kind of give you a behind the scenes peek of a wellness business. So, what are the things that, you might be thinking through that we know we were thinking through when we were going to join? So, we're going to talk about some common misconceptions. We're going to talk about why we do it. We're going to talk about why we chose to partner with this company. And then we'll also share some examples of how much income you can actually earn doing something like this. So here's just some reasons that people decide to do this. One reason would be that you're passionate about wellness. That doesn't mean you have to be an expert or you have to have everything, all figured out. It just means that that's something that's a priority to you or that you want to be more of a priority to you. For a lot of us, when we looked at Shaklee, it was very intriguing because it has become so important for so many of us to really pursue a non-toxic lifestyle. And so with Shaklee, that's what we're all about, is we are all about how do you help people to live healthier for longer by really looking at the ingredients of all the products that you use, in your home, on your body, and in your body. Um, Another reason to join was that we were looking for like-minded, supportive community. In your day-to-day, it's kind of like you just never quite know what you're gonna get as far as like some of us are lucky that we have people that are like-minded in our lives that think about life the same way, that are driven like us, but some of us don't. And so sometimes it's like, where do I find those people that really vibe with me, that really seem like they want more out of life? And so that's another reason to join a community like this. And then, of course, what we just mentioned is needing additional income. I don't think you could talk to anyone who would say that they wouldn't benefit from additional income. So that's a huge driver of this as well. All right, a little bit about Shaklee. So, Shaklee has been around for now about 69 years, which is kind of wild when you think of that. Maybe if you haven't heard about Shaklee before all of this or before whoever invited you to listen to this, I'm guessing if you were to bring up the name Shaklee to your parents, they may know what it is. It was really funny for a lot of us when we shared with our parents or grandparents. Like my mom was like, "Oh yeah, your grandma sold Shaklee back in the day." So, they've been around for a long time. The reason that a lot of us haven't heard about them is because they were never on social media. Because if you think about it, when you start 69 years ago, that was a long way before social media. And so, what happened was these older people built solid businesses, but they were not quick to hop on the social media train. A few of them did, but for the most part, they didn't. And so that's why for us, it's a super exciting opportunity because while you have the stability of a company that's been around for a long time, it's also kind of has like the heart of a startup because no one has really heard about it. So it's like wide open space to share this with the world. But what's really cool is that when you do share about it with someone that has heard about it, they always have like the best reputation about it. Like they're always like, "Oh, Shaklee, that was such a great company back in the day," and they always have such great things to say. So it's been really neat to kind of hear people's stories of how they might have grown up with some of the Shaklee products in their house. Shaklee also created the first multivitamin in the United States. So that's really cool. Now you go to the store and you see aisles and aisles of multivitamins. We were the first to create that. It was actually, Shaklee was created by a chiropractor back in the day who wanted more holistic, natural solutions for his patients. So he decided to go about doing things more naturally. So he started the first or created the first multivitamin, and then, other things too that we'll talk about in a bit. Shaklee is actually the most clinically proven wellness company in the world. So they have done so many clinical studies to actually prove that the products work, which is really, really cool. And we have so much more information we can send you on that if you're interested in learning more. They were the first company to be 100% carbon neutral, which is cool. And we have so many loyal customers. So, I mean, there's customers that have been with Shaklee for decades, like they just love it. And we were talking about that this weekend. We had our team retreat, which we'll share a tiny bit about. And we were talking about how awesome it is to be in a place where when people order, they want to reorder, they want to try more. Like it is not hard to get returning customers because they fall in love with the products, which is really refreshing. Just a little bit more here, as far as the products go. So we have 142 clinical studies to prove that they work. All of our products go beyond the standards of organic, which means that any standard that you would see in the grocery store that says organic, we go above and beyond that. So in order to be certified organic, they test, the soil and things like that, like before they grow the crops. Well, we do that throughout the whole process. So before, during, and after, we're making sure that we have like there's no chemicals, anything like that that would contaminate our products. So we go above and beyond with everything. Um, we run over 100,000 product quality tests annually. One quick story that I found really neat when I joined is that our CEO was sharing that during COVID, everything got to be so expensive as far as testing goes, and a lot of the companies, so they were trying to decide like how do we just asking like the different or the different products that they were trying to source. They were asking like, how can we save money? And a lot of the companies came, or a lot of the products came back and they said, well, most companies, they just do fewer tests in order to save money. And Carl, or not Carl, our CEO Roger said, well, we would never cut any corners. We would never do anything like that. We will never, not test our products to the highest quality. So I thought that was really cool. We have a big focus on natural ingredients, so we're clean and clinically proven, which is really neat. And then we have these things as well. So the most proven wellness company in the world, and we exceed all kinds of standards, that one and many more. And then also this up here where it says just we're free of harmful chemicals. Right now we're doing a non-toxic cleaning event and we're talking about how cool it is that we can use all of our products. We don't have to worry about, our kids touching them, all that kind of stuff. And then the other part here is community. So what's really neat is that the community is very diverse. So we have all generations represented. It's not just the youngsters, it's not just the older people, but it's really this beautiful picture of what it can look like when people of all ages, all walks of life come together and work just because we have, a common passion for wellness. Okay, so one of the things we like to mention here is that when it comes, like if you were to decide, yeah, I think I want to start sharing Shaklee, there's a few different ways that you can go about this. And we're going to kind of talk about it in terms of walking, jogging, and running, because we really want you to grow at your own pace, grow at a pace that feels comfortable to you. Some people decide from the beginning, like, I want to turn this into full-time income. So they're going to be runners. Others decide, you know what, I think I want to do this. I kind of want to like just sort of feel it out and get going and get comfortable. And then maybe I'll decide to jog later. But that's totally cool with us. If you want to walk, if you just want to kind of sign up and start sharing, that's awesome. Now, like any job, like anything where you're going to make money, it does take consistent work. So it's not like you can just sign up and start making money without trying very hard. Like all of these, walking, jogging, or running, they all require work. But as far as how much time is put into that, that's kind of what I mean as far as walk, jog, and run. So walking, what does it look like? It can be added into your current routine. Of course, flexible hours, you can kind of fit it into wherever it works best for your schedule. You can decide it, maybe you just want to start sharing this with your friends and family and just kind of start there. That's awesome. Here's an example of what it might look like for someone to walk. So let's just say there's someone named Ken. He could be single, he could work two jobs, and he just likes to share his products in his spare time, and he earns commission on all of his customer orders. So that's a great way to get started. Maybe you want to do a little bit more than that. Maybe you want to jog. This would be that you would have a little bit more of a focus effort. So, you would be posting more consistently on social media. We'd help you come up with a social media strategy. You're going to be selling products to family, friends, or acquaintances, depending on kind of who you decide to reach out to or who reaches out to you on social media. You may or may not grow a team. That might be something that you want to do. It might be something you're not quite ready to do. But regardless, when you put this kind of time in, you will start to see that extra income come in for your family. Here's an example of someone that's jogging. Melissa, stay-at-home mom of three. She likes to grow her number of customers. And, with effort, she's really focused more on sharing the products instead of a team. But with effort, every month she's going to increase her personal sales and help more customers like the products. And then we'll talk about the commission tiers here in a little bit. But hopefully with that effort, then she'll increase her income every month that way without building a team. And then finally, we have those who would want to run. So what does running look like? It looks like you're showing up daily. I mean, you're treating this like a business. You are treating it like you would if you had to clock in at work, right? Like you're building this into your schedule, you're making it a priority. So you're going to be sharing and talking about Shaklee daily. You're going to be posting on social media, and we're going to teach you how to actually grow a following. You're going to sell products to anyone, friends, family, acquaintances, whoever. And then you're also going to be focused on growing a team of Shaklee ambassadors under you who can, so that you can reach even more people. And then those who run also are able to earn rewards. You can earn trips, gifts, special recognition, all of that kind of stuff happens, which is so awesome. All of us were just on a trip that we worked hard for. And it's so rewarding to be able to have opportunities to do that too. Here's an example of a runner, Kimberly, wife and mom of 4 kids. She runs a Shaklee business with a growing team, and her current rank offers expanded monthly earning opportunities. So we'll share a little bit more about the comp plan here in a minute, but that's kind of what that looks like. Okay, so what can you earn? So when you're brand new, how this works is anyone that signs up with you using your link, you will earn a 30% commission on all new customer orders. And that's anytime you have a new customer. So you'll always earn 30% during their first 30 days, which is really generous commission right off the bat. Now, when you help 3 or more people place an order and those 3 orders total $500, you're also going to get a $75 bonus. This is amazing as a new ambassador because when you're focused on working hard, you're actually going to get a 45% commission instead of a 30% commission. And all of these ladies on here, they'll be able to kind of tell you how that works when they speak, but it's really cool to see, wow, my effort is really paying off right from the beginning. And then from there, depending on how many customers you're bringing on and how many customers order with you every single month, on returning customers, you can earn between a 10 to 40% commission. So there's different tiers basically based on how much you're selling, and you can earn up to 40%. So that's kind of the goal. That doesn't happen right away, but over time to earn a 40% commission on everything people order from you, that can bring in, substantial income. There's people that are earning 6 figures a year by selling products because they're focused on this alone. They don't even build a team. They just really want to share and build a really, solid customer base. And then this, I'm not going to go into all of this, but I wanted to show you just kind of at a glance the rest of our compensation plan. So I was just talking mostly about, the personal sales, like selling products to customers, but there's a whole compensation plan that goes beyond that if you're someone that wants to build a team. And I would encourage you to look up here, and we can send you this so you can take a better peek at it. But this is going to show you the average earning of income, just based on the statistics that we have of people that work at work for Shaklee. So, a lot of people will just start. I mean, everyone starts towards the left, and then you can see that if you really go after this and you work, of course, this does not happen overnight, and we are never ones to say, "Oh, this is a get rich quick thing," because we want you to know that it takes hard work. But if you treat this like a business over time, it truly can turn into full-time income for your family, if you're hitting these benchmarks and all of that, all the things here. So feel free to reach out and ask for a copy of this if you want to take a better peek at the average earnings. Okay, now just really quick, a few misconceptions. So I know these were definitely things that I thought about when I was joining. I'll annoy my friends and family. I mean, oh my gosh, I so did not want to do that. I did not want to be one of those people that was like annoying my friends and family. That was terrifying to me. Well, I will tell you that we do not train that way. We do not train for you to bug your friends and family. We really train you to share with authenticity and to share your story and to share value. We really believe that when you're sharing value and when you're building trust, that's when people are going to reach out to you and they're going to want to work with you. It's not when you're posting annoying graphics and sales and all these things. Like that just doesn't work anyway. So we would never encourage that kind of behavior. So you will not be annoying your friends and family when you're here. You have to build a big team to make extra income. Absolutely not. Again, if you don't want to build a team at all, you can earn significant income just selling the products. It will require, another misconception is that it'll require a continued investment of money and inventory. Nope, actually, there's no monthly fee to be an ambassador, which is awesome. And you don't have to buy the products. Like you decide what you want to buy when, in a way that's comfortable for you. You don't have to store inventory. Shaklee does all of that for you. So all you have to do is share a link and it goes straight to their door without you having to do extra work on your end. Another misconception is that you need to learn about all the products and what they do to be successful. No, we have over 300 products. It would be pretty impossible for you to master all of those before starting. So what we encourage you to do is to really lead with the products that are most exciting to you and that make the biggest difference for you. And then of course over time you'll learn about more of them, but a lot of us have success just focusing on our like top five favorite products, and that is where we really spend the most of our time. And then lastly, people think that they need a huge social media following to make this work, which is, again, absolutely not true. These ladies will tell you that too. But what's really been interesting for us is people on our team, some with very small social media followings, are some of our top performers, because what we find at Shaklee is it really has a lot to do with how well you build trust with others and how well you serve others. You do not need a large social media following. Of course, we will help you to build a social media following, because why wouldn't you want to do that if you want to reach more people? But it's not something that is required, like, or that only people with social media followings have success here. That's absolutely not true. Okay, I'm gonna quickly talk like, once just options to get started. We'll probably visit this at the very end too. But in a nutshell, we basically just encourage you to order something that you're excited about. We have different join bundles that you can go with. So there's a couple options. If you decide to do this, you would either start with like the Ready Set Wellness Kit. We have some other kit options as well, or you can just select your own products and then pay the $50 business starter fee. Okay, I'm going to stop this and go ahead and hand it over to some of our ambassadors so that they can share their stories. I'll share just real quick a little bit about me too, my story, how I got started. I started, like I said before, I was a stay-at-home mom and I wanted to earn extra income for our family. And so I just started to share, and I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't have it all figured out. I had never done this before. I think that's the kind of crazy thing, right? Is that like no one really has gone to school for this. Like we don't know, no one knows what they're doing in the beginning, but you just start and you have fun with it. And over, several years, I was able to build my online business into full-time income. I was previously with a different company and I moved over to Shaklee last summer. And so we're all kind of new here. We're like the new kids on the block, but it has been refreshing in the best way, for especially for those of us who came from companies where things had kind of started to crumble. This has been a really redemptive opportunity for us, and so we love sharing about it. But I am going to go ahead and pass it over to Cassie, who's going to share her story.
Thanks, Amber. Yes. My name is Cassie and I'm from Iowa and I have been an ambassador since last October. And I apologize for my voice. I was on the retreat with our Shaklee leaders this over the weekend and we talked and talked and talked and talked and talked. And that brings me to my biggest hesitation was coming from my former company where I had been there for 10 years and built a really incredible team and was part of a really great team. And I was so afraid of losing my community and then going somewhere and not having that. And so I was not disappointed. I got on a call with Amber and she reassured me like we have a great community, not just, of course in person, but also our virtual community, our team, everybody is just so supportive, like beyond what I imagined. And I came from a really supportive team. And so that was huge. And then the other thing was I was so used, I was used to health and fitness, nutrition and fitness. Like that was my jam for 15 years, even before I was with my previous company. And so like diving into new products and this realm of non-toxic is something I was interested in, but I'm like, I don't know anything about it. And so was there education? Like, will there be education? Absolutely. I think I have learned more in the last, what, 5, 6 months than I have in the last 5 years about just the education behind non-toxic products and like my hormones, metabolic health, just blowing my mind what this company does to educate us. And so I'm so excited, not only for my own personal health, but just helping new clients and then helping clients that I was helping before in my previous role really take their health and wellness to the next level. And I'm someone that wants to replace their full-time income because I had left my job as a teacher back in the day because I wanted to be at home with my babies and I wanted to be able to have substantial income to support our family. And I can already see the trajectory of what this is going to be with Shaklee, and I am so excited and so grateful. So I'm going to pass it over to Colleen and let you have a little taste of her energy.
I actually love that I got to go right after you because true story, Cassie and I came from the same prior company. And I want to say maybe 4 years ago, I got on a phone call with her and she shared her story that initially, got her started in community marketing. And because she had the proof, right? She had the proof that it was possible. I'm also a former teacher, high school agriculture teacher. And at the time, I was needing to create an exit strategy for myself. I'm the crazy kind of person where, because I knew it was possible, I left and then put myself in a position where I needed to push to replace the income. I didn't wait to replace it first. I'm not saying you should do that, but if that aligns with your personality, I'm just saying there's enough of us that are proving it's possible, so you don't have to be that afraid of it. I am a mom of two girls. I'm also a caregiver for my grandma that has dementia and a caregiver for my mom this year who was battling stage 2 breast cancer. And I want to tell you this part of my personal story so that if any of you listening are going through a season of hard, I want you to know that if there is an inkling in your heart, it is absolutely the right time for you to do this, and it's possible. I opened my Shaklee business, my mom's very first chemo infusion appointment at her new location, which happened to be right across the street from my upline and mentor's house. Like everything was falling into place, I think, in exactly the way that God needed it to for me. I started my business, I believe, October 9th. Fast forward 5 months. I hit our first rank in November, and I have held it since then. I'm consistently earning each month more than I used to earn at my former company in a single year. I want to let that sit for a second. Okay. This is like a big deal, people. The freedom that this has brought me, besides financial, the confidence that I have financially in my marriage with my husband, it is like it's changing real families. So again, regardless of the situation that you're in, if there's a part of you that's passionate about the wellness side, maybe you're craving a community like the one we have. I'm biased, but I think we're pretty gosh darn awesome. You can have whichever piece you want or all of it. How amazing that a place exists where you can have everything, right? Quality products that don't just stand the test of time, but we have decades and decades of research backing them. As someone with a history of health problems, I can tell you firsthand the amount of things that I've tried that didn't work, or that later on I find out actually made my problems worse. That doesn't happen here. One of the things we were supposed to mention was if we had a hesitation coming into it, what was it? And if I'm being honest, I didn't have a hesitation with Shaklee. I knew from I didn't, but that's also my kind of jam. When I heard about the research, when I heard about over 140 clinical trials, when I heard about there are people in our company that are in their 80s that have been running this business for decades, and there's people like me who failed everywhere else, but new people are coming in and we're winning here. That was like all the proof that I needed. So I dove in with 2 feet and now I get to be here tonight with you guys. So with that, I'm going to pause and send it over to Miss Sarah.
Thank you, Colleen. I love hearing your passion. And I didn't actually know some of your backstory, so I really like that. Thank you. Okay, my name is Sarah. I am a mom of two girls. I'm also a salon suite owner, so I've been self-employed for a long time, but kind of like newish to the whole like direct marketing, community marketing family. I also previously was with a company before. I was actually there for 7 years, but I did not succeed. Like I did not rank up. I did not like replace my income. I literally made money to like buy my own products. And that was cool. Like I was totally fine with that. But like I didn't get anywhere. So thinking about like hesitations, I love this community marketing idea. Like I love the community aspect, the I love the health and wellness, but I was like, maybe this is like not for me. Like maybe I'm not meant to be like in this arena. Like maybe this isn't where I find my success. But I pushed through and I'm like, I'm not giving up. Like, here's this beautiful company that It's been around forever. The products are non-toxic. There are all these like great things about it. And I just felt in my heart like, you know what, there's a place for me there. Like, just because I didn't do well in one area does not mean that like I can't do well in a new company. So one, the hesitation was I would fail, I would be terrible. People would be like, what the heck? Like, what are you doing? Hesitation was, are people going to judge me? Like, I very much was like, well, here we go again. Sarah's, dabbling in all these different hobbies. So I was definitely afraid of judgment of people. I was afraid of failing and honestly like afraid to, I don't know, like represent like a wellness company. Like we do sell vitamins and I was like, well, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nurse, like what do I know? But like really I know a little bit because I've done my own research before and my friends and my family know that that's important to me. And I'm like, you know what? That's okay. Like, you don't have to know everything from the beginning because you have to be a beginner at some point. And obviously, a company like this that has been around for, 60 years obviously knows how to educate their workforce or the people that are working for them. So I just put trust in the education and just like their history and just jumped right in and found a lot of comfort with Amber, who's the upline. She's the most incredible leader. I didn't have that in my previous company before. And being self-employed, I don't have a boss, so I'm my own boss. So she's been like the biggest supporter and the biggest mentor. And I've been here for 6 months, and I've held a rank for a very long time. I've made way more money than I ever have before. I feel more confident, and I just feel like, man, you just got to lean into your curiosity and it's okay to be a beginner and not know, and it is okay to fail. We're not saying that like you're gonna succeed right away and like be at the top. Like you might fail and you just get to pick yourself up again and learn from all these incredible people and just have a good community to like root for you and I don't know, help you along the way. So okay, that is me. Next will be Mandy. She has a great story too.
Thank you, Sarah. I love your story. My story is actually very similar to yours, and I didn't realize that how like similar we were. Maybe that's I love Sarah. Maybe that's why we connected. Like we have. Anyway, my name is Mandy Beach. Sorry, I have allergies and my voice comes and goes. But I live in Frederick, Maryland, and I am a mom of three. And I am currently a teacher. I've been a teacher for 16 years, and I teach second grade, and I love it. I do not at this point do this business to replace my income, although that would be amazing. And I have the belief now that I can do that. I don't plan on quitting anytime soon. So this is a supplemental job for me for sure, but it is so much fun. And just because it's supplemental doesn't mean that you can't make an income doing it. And I think that's really important to know. Like the side hustle business can actually like bring you what you need as a family. So anyway, I have been with Shaklee with Amber since pretty much the beginning. I joined in July, so it's been 8 months. And I also came from a former company. And in that way, Sarah and I and Colleen are so similar. I saw literally zero success. Okay, so I've been thinking about this. I don't want to say zero because I did build a community and I did enjoy helping women. And I think that's why I didn't want to give up on my dream yet of doing this because I really missed, like when I kind of took a step back from that, I really missed that part of the community. And in hearing everything about Shackley and hearing, what a great community and people have been here for 70 years or, 68 years that really spoke to me because it told me that it was kind of a legacy and you could be successful over time and you didn't really have to see, like be so big all at once. And when I talk to people about the business, that was really what I needed to hear to kind of like put 2 feet in, as Colleen said. And I think that that's really been my mindset going along. Like I've hit ranks, I've done that, but I think knowing that it's not a push, 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 push kind of place brings me comfort and actually makes me more confident in sharing about the business and the products. And so one hesitation that I had was, will I see success? And I didn't want to be embarrassed and not see success again. I didn't want to be judged for my friends and my family about like being, like a marketing hopper kind of person that kind of jumps from place to place. And when I heard about Shaklee, I was like, no, this is going to be it. I will make this happen. And I really felt at home right away. Like Amber and Jake's team, like the whole team in general is really so supportive of each other. And, like I have a community outside of Shackley. I have many communities, but really Shackley is such a supportive community and will do anything to help you succeed. So I don't even remember where I started with my hesitation, but all of them are gone now. Let's see, I took notes, so I would be embarrassed to fail again. And what I found, just to wrap things up, the products, they really do speak for themselves. I started with the vitamins, felt a difference in 5 days with that, maybe less than 5 days. I started with the protein. I love the protein so much. The skincare, like everything that I have tried, really it speaks volumes and again makes you more confident to want to share about it. Like there is nothing going wrong with Shackley, is what I've learned. I was afraid that my time wouldn't be valued here again with the money, and it is so valued in so many different ways. The income, of course, but also the recognition that you get from the team and from Amber and Jake and from the company in general. It's really awesome. You feel so supported and you feel like a real person here. Like that's pretty awesome. So yeah. And the last thing that I wrote about like how I'm feeling now was this team is really so special. And I think it's a really great place to be. So if you have any hesitations, just throw them all out the window because I think like give it a shot. It will work out. I know it will. And like Sarah said, if you fail, just pick yourself back up because, we all fail in some way and we all have, those hesitations. So my suggestion would be to just let them go and just put 2 feet in. That's what I would do. So I am going to pass it on to Nicole here, who is just a really awesome person. So there you go, Nicole.
Hi guys, so my name is Nicole. I'm from Green Bay, Wisconsin, and I have never ever done network marketing before. To be very honest with you all, I've told some of the girls on the retreat this. I used to find it extremely cringy. So there's some days it's like, I can't believe I'm doing this, but I absolutely love it. I'm a single mom, so I literally have so much on my plate. I have all the man jobs, I have all the woman jobs, I'm the sole provider for income. It's a lot. So, my full-time job is I'm in real estate. I used to be a realtor, and then when I got divorced, I switched, and now I work at a title company. So, some of like the business development things that I do at the title company have kind of helped me here. And I guess the main thing I want to say is like if you're thinking about this or just considering it, when I want to like make a big change or do something new, I always think baby steps. So like just one little baby step and then all like with this, that was my motto, baby step. And then all of a sudden like you get addicted and then you just keep wanting more and more and more. So I guess I had a few hesitations. I remember my first call with Amber. I think my 3 hesitations was one, this is cringy. I don't want to be that person. And I feel like I'm finding the balance that I want to. And it's cool because you can create it however you want. Like the other thing that's awesome is I'm following a lot of people on this team and a lot of people on other sort of teams. And you get ideas, but then you just twist them to how you're comfortable with. And then my second hesitation is, well, what if I start and like I give up? Like I don't give up on things I really want. I don't. But like what if I start and then I give up? Well, if you do, you do. Then you tried it. And then the third thing, I was really concerned about the money. So I'm going to be honest, I started this as a side hustle. Like I said, single income, single mom, and I have expensive hobbies. And I have an adventure account, and what used to fuel it was, 2 things, my mileage checks, which sounds crazy, but it's true. And then also this profit share tree from my other job. With inflation, I needed all those mileage checks. So like my adventure count went to like 0. And I have some really big goals. I want to take my kids to all 50 states, and I have some hunting goals that I wanted to do. And I'm like, okay, this is like my passion. I have to figure out a way with the side hustle. And I looked for 3 years. I looked into so many side hustles. Like I bartended for a little bit, and then I remember talking to my friend on the phone, and I was like, okay, I need another job to fuel my adventures and my fun. But like all these jobs I either don't align with them. Like I don't want to sell products from China on Amazon, or just all these other jobs. Like they either didn't align with what I wanted, or they were like, okay, I'm Nicole. I want to make a ton of money and I have no availability. I can't work weekends. So this has seriously been such a blessing because like with a full plate, I can fit it in nooks and crannies of my day. So I work from like 6 to 7. I'll put in a solid hour in the morning in little nooks and crannies when I need to. I will throughout the day, and then at night another like hour, and on the weekends just fill it in. And like I'm making money, and I've only been doing it for 8 months. I think I joined right about when Mandy did, so like 8 months. And I've hit with ever not ever doing this. I'm proud of myself, but I've hit director every single month, which is your first rank. So it's possible. Like you totally can do it. Um, so I hope that that helps with your decision. But like I said, go with your gut, pray about it, and just baby steps, one little baby step at a time, and then you're addicted. So I think that I could talk for hours, but I'll stop there. So I'm going to pass it off to Susan.
It would help if I unmute. Thank you, Nicole. And goodness, even as you told more of your story, we have so much more in common because Nicole and I were talking. Oh, I'm sorry. I am Susan Davidson. I am a mother of 4. I have 6 grandchildren. I am 64, even though I've been telling everybody I was 63, but yesterday I figured out I'm really 64. I love that I'm part of a company that's older than I am. And we have the most amazing team. I got to go on the retreat with all these young girls, and they just treated me like I was one of them. And it was just so much fun, and so much fun to get to know their hearts and how they just have a heart for helping other people. One of the things that has surprised me most, I believe, about networking, because sometimes people are afraid of just the word networking, that just feels like Nicole was saying, and Nicole and I were talking at the retreat, that feels a little bit like, I'm not real sure about that. And then people post a lot, and then do they just go invite everybody? I mean, how does that work? And I remember being so fearful of that it held me off for years. But once I got into it, I found that at least the team that I am on, that they are some of the most people who dream big. They love to help other people. And they are just, I got cold chills just thinking about it, just so inspiring. And so to be in a room surrounded by those kind of people who want to sit and learn, like we're on a retreat and we could just be out having fun all day, but we wanted to sit and learn. We wanted to share ideas. And I mean, those are my kind of people. And if that is your kind of people, then you're in the right place. Just let go of all the fear. I believe that networking is also one of the biggest character building businesses that you can do. I mean, you just have to let go of things. You have to just pray about it, give it to God, ask Him who you need to talk to and help, and He will bring those people to you. It's really a big trust factor growing machine is really what it is. And I know for me, I had a lot of fear about what people think, all of that. The Lord has helped me just let go of so much bondage that I am forever thankful for this. And I'm like you, Nicole. I come from, my husband's a coach, I'm a teacher, and we had 4 kids. And so I was always looking for that extra little income thing, and I have done many things from crafts to the janitor, all kinds of things, driving a bus, all kinds of things. But this right here has just really blown my mind. I often refer to it as just a breath of fresh air. I mean, it's work, but if you like work, I like to work. then it is just something that you can just do. And it not only helps other people, but it helps you. And just this company is so solid to think that it's 68 years old and still just growing by leaps and bounds and has the best, I believe, supplements on earth. I mean, it's just really, really great. And then our leader, Amber and Jake. Amber is just one of the most humble, inspiring, serving, sweet people that I've ever met. To be under her leadership is just such a blessing. So someone asked me just today, well, can you earn money right off the bat in this? Yes, if you're willing to just do what we tell you to, be coachable, and you can, because I believe the compensation plan is actually set up to help you get started, unlike other companies that figure it out, But anyway, I'm going to start rambling. But I love this team. I'm so thankful to be a part of Shaklee, and thank you, Amber, for all your leadership.
Oh, that was so wonderful. Thank you to all of you who shared. It just warms my heart to see so many of you winning. And that has been the biggest thing, I think, that gives us confidence to have calls like this, is that we see the people that join our team. And like Susan said, they like to work, they take this seriously. Those people are winning here. They're serving their customers, they're connecting their customers with products that are changing their lives, and they're also earning that extra income for their family. So that's pretty much all that we had tonight. I would love to answer any questions that might be on your mind. We mentioned a little bit about the compensation plan towards the beginning. If you'd like to see more details of that, please feel free to ask the person who invited you. And then if you are ready to go ahead and sign up, we would love to have you on our team. What we like to do is really, help people that are ready to get started to have the best possible, chance to succeed. And so we like to do that by having different like cohorts of new ambassadors kind of start at the same time. Because what we find is that when you are in community with other people who are trying to figure it out right alongside you, that it can help to give you the confidence and to take the action that maybe you would be a little nervous to do on your own. So we're coming in towards the end of March. And so we will be having our next new ambassador start date happening next week. So beginning of April is when we will start. So if you're curious about this, please get all of your questions answered. We would love to help you sign up sometime this week. We actually also have a really fun promo going on right now for free shipping. So that's another reason to go ahead and get signed up. That ends tomorrow. But if you're like, yeah, if I think I'm going to do this, I want to get going, reach out to the ambassador that invited you, and we can help you with that process to get you enrolled. We also have a really fun non-toxic cleaning event going on. So we'd love to invite you to hop in there and learn more about those cleaning products. We have a fun giveaway that you could actually enter when you enroll as well. We're giving away a Dyson vacuum. Tell me you're like, an adult without telling me you're an adult when you start to get excited about a vacuum giveaway. But no, it's been really fun to just share these products and that they actually work. And so we have some cleaning demonstrations going on in there as well. And of course, if you have any questions after this, please don't hesitate to reach out to any of us. We would be more than happy to answer your questions. So okay, well, thank you all so much for joining, and thank you, ladies, for sharing tonight. It was such a blessing to hear from you. All right, guys, we'll talk to you later. Have a good night.